hi there. We're here at Ronny's place, and there's a reason for that. Well, it's not really that there has to be a reason to be here, so nice and cozy. But anyway, today I don't want to just sit here, relax, and doing something, smoking my pipe or whatever. So there's work to do. So of course there is a bunch of tobaccos reached the German market. So that's all about season tobaccos, Christmas tobaccos, tobacco of the year, and so on. And I don't want to let you miss that. So I don't know. So but speaking of missing something, there is something I miss in this year, and I'm going to talk about this at first. So because there's something, you're going to find out there's something that is different to the videos of last year or the last few season tobacco videos I did. Because there was always one tobacco, I don't want to say it was outstanding, but that was good tobacco, and I don't know, that was pretty much reliable, done by a good producer, and I recommended that tobacco quite often. So, and that was Peterson's holiday season or Christmas tobacco. So this year there won't be any Christmas tobacco or season tobacco coming up on the market by Peterson. So why is that? So so I asked the distributor, I said, you're going to come up with something this year? And they said, no sir, we don't. So, and this is, I think that's related, or that's my guess, and I think that's guess of most retailers here. So that is related to the change of Peterson. So from McBarron to Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So I don't know. So we're expecting a lot of change going on regarding those Peterson tobacco. So there's something going on. So I don't want to go into the details when it comes to Scandinavian Tobacco Group here on the German market, at least. I think my German fellows, they all know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So I don't want to go too much into the details. We don't want to be sued, or don't want to be, I don't know, hurt anyone's feelings. So, but let's just say that. If so, from my point, I have a view on Ronny's shelf, and I can see where the Peterson tobaccos, where they used to be, there aren't any Peterson tobaccos anymore. So the reason for that is, since they changed distributor of production from McBarron to Scandinavian Tobacco Group, they just can't deliver anymore. So there's just nothing coming up. So it means no Irish flake on the shelf, no University flake on the shelf. That's all gone. So they just can't deliver. And that was, yeah, to be honest, that was pretty much what we expected. What Ronny and me, what we expected when we heard that they switched from McBarron to Scandinavian Tobacco Group, because McBarron is a reliable producer, reliable distributor, so they have good companies here to work with and so on. Yeah, but now it seems that we have the same situation that we already have when it comes to Peterson hardware. So when it comes to the pipes. Not easy to get these pipes if you order that as a retailer. Not easy, so they're not reliable. I don't want to say that. It's just the experience here in the shop. Let's just leave it there. All right, we don't know what's going on. Perhaps some changes. Perhaps they're coming up with the stuff again. But for now, Ronny just replaced that by a rat race. So why is that? Red Ray is produced by Kohlhase, and Kohlhase was the former producer of those Peterson tobaccos. So we're not talking copies. These are originals, but just in a different tin under a different brand name, or the same tobacco. So because done by the former producer. So Kohlhase they produce these Peterson tobaccos. They have replacements for all these tobaccos. So just in case you can't find the original after a while, I think that there's still something in stock, but we don't know what's going on. So my guess is they're gonna produce the stuff at Orlick, because Orlick, for me, perhaps that's the only proper producer in the group. So let's see what they come up with. So well, that's the situation. So, and that's the reason why there is no holiday season tobacco this year by Peterson, and that's sad. Alright, there's still enough stuff on the market, and I'm going to talk about that. So we better get started. So last year, one of my German fellows, I think it was one of my German fellows, who wrote 7 minutes, just yappity yap. You see, well, I don't mind. That's well, that's German way of constructive criticism. So that's all right. So all right, I'm gonna start with that, and we're gonna start with Rat Race Winter Edition 2018. That will be first one. I'm gonna show you that. It's done by Kohlhauser. Yeah, well, it's a Rat Race. That's a brand. So you see, well, this tin with a warning sticker and so on, but well, you know, it's Kohlhauser, and Kohlhauser is very, I don't know, smart when it comes to packing or to the packages, to the tins and so on, and they don't like the warning sticker, I think. So this is the way it is in the shop, or if you want to give it as a gift, you just take the paper away and you have a beautiful tin art, no stickers, no nothing. So you see, beautiful tin. So with all the disadvantages this tins come, so because, well, you know, it's not sealed, it's not vacuumized or something like that. So, alright, it's just for the holiday season. You should smoke that in the winter time or whatever, and it's good enough for that, alright. But you have to be careful. If you find some older stuff, let's say you find this tin next year or whatever, be careful with that. Open that in the shop. Just make sure that it's still fresh and it's still smokable condition. So, yeah, so, but on the back side, what you see, you don't see anything. No, just, you know, just metal. So no description. Yeah, anyway, but you can find that on the internet. So I'm going to tell you what they say about the tobacco. So that's Rat Race Winter Edition 2018. So they say it's Black Cavendish, Burley, and Virginia. So we're not wondering about that. So what about the aroma? Because that's the really important part. So when it comes to all these tobaccos, we're not talking really about tobacco and all the components and so on. We're mainly talking aroma. So because those are heavy aromatics, except for one, but the others are heavy aromatics. So there's nothing bad about that. So well, we all know that. We all know the situation. So let's say perhaps most of us like some fries and some ketchup. So, and sometimes the ketchup is so good that we try to drown all the fries in the ketchup. So, well, there's nothing bad about that. Doesn't mean that we don't appreciate a fancy dinner next day. So, anyway, just to make things clear, I won't talk about the subtle Burley notes in this video, so because there are no. Anyway, so the aroma is walnut, caramel, and honey. Yeah, well, I'll show you tobacco. This tin is still closed, but I have a sample back here, so I'll show you that. Let's get this. Come on. I hope I got the right back. Yeah, Rat Race Winter Edition. Yeah, that's right. So, but I tell you, all those tobaccos, there is nothing really special about how it looks. So you see, that's the usual. That's the usual view we have on those tobaccos. There's nothing fancy. So yeah, the smell. Think about the smell. Yeah, it's a bit creamy, nutty. There's some berry-like flavor in the back. So let me see on my notes. Why they say aroma is a 3 out of 5. I'm not sure about that. For me, it's at least a 4. But well, there's another tobacco, and compared to that tobacco, yeah, it is a 3, so perhaps even a 2, but under normal circumstances I would say it's a bit more than 3 out of 5. So the conclusion when it comes to this tobacco for me is that fine smell, it's not too aggressive, it comes a bit too moisty, but it's anyway packed easily, so and that's not always the case, but in this case it's packed easily. It's good to light up. The taste, there is a hint of honey caramel, yes it is, a little bit walnut, not too much, and caramel is just really slightly in the back, so it's a bit more nutty creamy like in the front. So yeah, so you might think it's too moisty in the last third of the bowl, so it likes to produce a little bit of moist during the smoke, especially in the last third of the bowl. So and then when that sets in, you get some chemical notes. So and it's also getting a bit sharper in the end of the bowl. So the aroma, and that's I think the bad point, it can't really stand up to the ground of the bowl, and that's always something I like to think about as a point of quality tobacco. If the aroma can stand the whole bowl, and that's not really the case here, at least not for me. Good news is, as soon as the aroma just breaks down, the tobacco comes through. So that was strange to me. So the last third of the bowl, yeah. But is that good news? I'm not so sure about that. So all right. That is about the Red Race Winter Edition. So let's come to a second tobacco, and that will be a John Aylesbury Winter Edition 2018. I have it here. So you see, there's a lot of different tin art this year. Oh, you see. And same game here. So the tin in the shop that looks like this, but you get a present. A present comes with the tin, and this is this one. So you just pull that over, and then it looks nice if you want to have a present or whatever. And look at that, they still can do it. So they have a description here on the back, and they say it's black Cavendish, Burley, and they're different Virginias, and that's the mixture. Yeah, but the mixture isn't that interesting. Let's focus, or let's see what they put on them. So what do they say? Well, they say it's black Cavendish, Burley, Virginia. I already told. The flavor is orange, cinnamon, caramel, and almond. It comes pretty moisty. It's not too easy to light up, but after it's done, you can keep that going. So, but you have to focus a little bit on that. You can do some drying, but I don't like to dry, because normally if you dry, you get some sharp notes, because, well, the humidity is always one point to avoid sharpness. So I think that's the reason why they do it. So I don't know about the quality of the original tobaccos they put in, but I don't know. Let's just leave it that way. Yeah, it's not too chemical, which is good news, and it's not harsh at all. So no tongue bite as far as I can detect. Just at the last 10% of the bowl, I detected some harsh notes, but yeah, well, that's all right. That's what you sometimes get from those tobaccos. Let me see for the price. The price of this tobacco is 24 euros 80 cents. That's a lot. Anyway, that it seems to be the price range that we find for this year. Yeah, alright, this tobacco, the Red Race Winter Edition, that is 23 euros 60 cents. I don't know what's the difference, why is there a difference? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So anyway, those two tobaccos, both done by Kohlhauser. And guess what? there's another one done by Kohlhauser, and that is the John Aylesbury edition 2019. So yeah, it's easy to find that out because you see it's same method of packing. So you have a package here. Just let me just relight for a moment. By the way, some guys always asking, smoking this tobacco, not this tobacco, but a different one. I'll tell you which tobacco I'm smoking right now at the end of the video. So in my Ali Berinci, you can see that. My Ali Berinci with a custom built stem done by Janssen, Mr. Janssen in Hamburg. So there is a video, I think, Strangler of Lichtenmoor, where there is a link down the bucket, I think, to Mr. Janssen. He does international shipping if you're interested in new stems or something like that. Some guys have sometimes asked me about the stems and so on. So he's a hell of a craftsman. Look at that, really a nice stem what he did. So it's not too pricey, and yeah, he does shipping. So if you're really interested in that, just hit him, send him an email, and yeah. All right, back to the backies. So okay, same procedure here. You got a wrapped tin. You just pull that up, and after that, you have a really beautiful tin. So I think so. Look at that. Completely different style, but so yeah. What about this tobacco? I show you tobacco at first, so and tell you what they say what is in that. So let me take a look at my notes. So they say it's double fermented, black Cavendish, Burley, and different Virginias with partially ready wrapped, or with some ready wrapped parts. So I'm not sure. Let's see if we can find out if there is ready wrapped in it. I'll show you tobacco. As I said, there's not much about that. So that's rather brown, but it fits the tin. Look at the color of the tin, and look at the tobacco. Fits pretty well, I think. So, all right, let's see if we can find some flake parts in that. Okay, give me a moment. I don't know if that counts as flake part. I don't know. Anyway, not much flake parts to find. And what is the sense in flake parts if you just got one flake part every 5th bowl? So I'm not sure about that. Okay, we don't want to complain about that. So they say they put a flavor on that. Wow, that's pretty nice. So they say it's a raspberry, plum, and mirabelle with a hint of nut. So yeah, fruity in some ways. Fruity. If you want to decide more the creamy side or more the fruity side, this is a little bit more on the fruity side with some creamy notes. But that is about the smell. What about the taste? So, first, tobacco comes rather moist, but it's good to pack and good to light up. So it's not chemical. Just during the start, just when you light up, and that's something you have quite often, unfortunately. Not when it comes to the very, very best aromatics, but normally you have some chemical notes during the first light. So, alright, but this disappears after a short while, and then it's quite mellow, it's even pleasing. So there is, let me take a look at my notes. It's mainly nutty, sweet notes underlined by a fruity component. So it's the other way around than the smell. Smell is a bit more fruity, and the taste is a bit more nutty, which is good for me, so I like this one. Conclusion, not too shabby at all. So not too shabby at all. So Price is 24 euros 50 cents. That's the price. Anyway, but it's decent tobacco. It's alright. Alright, decent tobacco brings us to another tobacco, and this would be, don't be shocked, produced by Kohlhauser. So yeah, we're talking Kohlhauser today. Well, it's not my fault, it's not that I picked just Kohlhauser, but that's what is on the market mainly right now. So they do a lot of stuff for different companies and under different brands. So and I don't know, we're not mad about that. Well, they, I don't know, reliable producer, good producer. They know a lot about tobacco, and for the retailers, I think it's really an important point that they are reliable and they can deliver. So I think that's important for many retailers. So all right, perhaps you remember during last year, I think the year before, so there were different tobaccos. They do a world tour, and they always put something in what they think that fits to I don't know, to Asia or whatever. And Africa, I think, was one edition. And this year we got Europe. So let's see what they think about Europe. I show you the tin. You see that? So nice tin. Empty bag. So all right. Yeah. So that will be Kohlhauser edition 3 Europe. So they say it's black Cavendish, golden Virginia Burley, and Virginia flake. Yeah, some pieces they say. Okay, let's take a look if we can find out about those flake parts in this tobacco. Where you get a little note here in the tin. Thank you, they say. So, thank you. Yeah, let's see. Let's get this off. Let's take a first look at the tobacco. But don't be surprised and don't be disappointed. Yeah, it's same old. So, alright, but it doesn't look too bad. So I think it looks even nice. So, alright, let's search for flake bars in that. I got one. So, look at this. Indeed. So there's flake in it on the camera. Anyway, so there are flake parts in it. Oh, so now it comes. So what about the flavor? So they say it's English mint and Spanish orange. So I don't know what's the difference between Spanish orange and let's say Italian orange. Not sure about that. Well, in the end, for the Spanish guys, I don't really hope that this is really what they think Spanish orange tastes like. So they say also Spanish orange with a hint of cream of the Alps. Cream of the Alps. So that seems to be a difference between several creams. So the smell, okay. I think in one of my videos I said, well, everything for the YTPC, and this is one of those moments. So if you take a whiff of that, I tell you what happens. So perhaps you know the feeling. If you have an orange and you just rub it on the surface, and you got those extremely aggressive notes, and just think of that, and this just directly rubbed in your face. I don't know, in a huge amount. So that's what you got when you take a whiff of that. Underlined by extremely aggressive chemical notes. Well, that's sorry. That's just what I smell. Well, you know, I like the aromatics, but so my point is, so yeah, we're not talking about tobacco notes or something like that. So all the other notes, if there's a cream, I'm not sure if there would be a cream. I could detect that from the Alps, but I don't detect anything else. I just detect extremely aggressive orange, and that's it. So what about the taste? So I tell you what about the taste. So aggressive as it gets. So I lit that up, and I was just hit in the face. So I don't think I ever tried a tobacco that aggressive than this tobacco. And so I think this is even interesting, really, because for me, well, yeah, you can give it a shot. So if you really want to know what chemical industry can do within the boundaries of law, so for me, I recommend that. So for this year, that was one of the most interesting experiences I had. So, and I had a lot of different. Yeah. So all right. Sorry, I can't tell any of it. So they're really good cold hazard tobaccos here in the line, and I'm going to talk about another tobacco, and there's, yeah, well, really good tobaccos. And this is really the upper end of what is really possible. So yeah. So anyway, if you want to share this experience with me, so that would be €23.60. So and there you go. Could be interesting. All right. Let's change the tobacco. I better close that very good here. So, all right, but yeah, well, in the end, you know, that's just my honest opinion, so nothing more. So, if you want to give it a shot, perhaps you even like it, perhaps you like this orange flavor so much, yeah, well, anyway, just, yeah, all right, let's just change. So what we have is a cold hazard winter edition. Now that will be next one. So same game here. So we just wrap that, we just put that away, and then we have a nice tin art. And look at that, it's quite different to the other tin arts that we have seen before. Yeah, not that different, perhaps a little bit like the Christmas Daddy, but yeah, it's a more winter impression. So nice tin. And those tins are good to, I don't know, put cookies in it or whatever. So, no description on the back, but don't be afraid. So, I figured that out. So, let's just, I show you tobacco and tell you what's in it. So, cold hazard, winter time. So the point is, I couldn't get this tobacco at Ronny's place because, yeah, it was already sold. So he didn't get any because, I don't know, production was too small or whatever, was gone everywhere. And I've seen online, even online, some retailers they don't list that anymore because it's already gone. So, but there was a shop here in town, a different shop, and they still had a tin, so I got it, and so made up my mind. So just show you tobacco. I think it's a hint darker than the tobacco before. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, you see, yeah, well, not that much of a difference, let's say. So they say it's black Cavendish, Virginia cube cuts. So some nutty Burley and some more golden Virginia. So the more golden Virginia, the producers normally throw a hand of Virginia in that just to make it look better. So that's what they do normally, because customers, they don't like this, I don't know, this just, yeah, in fact, there are really some cube cuts. Can you see that? So really, but just a hint of cube cuts. Okay. The flavor, they say, there's almond, cream, orange, and a hint of vanilla and macadamia. So, seems to be more on on the nutty side or more the creamy side if you want to make a difference between fruity sides and creamy sides. So we have more of the creamy side here still, and it packs very well, it burns well. It is slightly chemical, so it has some chemical undernotes, so it's not comparable to the other tobacco, to the one I showed you before, but it is slightly chemical, but you can live with that. And after the beginning, let's say after first 10% of bowl, if you go slowly on that, that disappears, and you got some really nice, I don't know, Christmas-like nutty, creamy notes with a hint of orange. So yeah, well, that could be something you could go with. So it's not bad tobacco. Yeah, so you got those orange notes if you like that, and also some nutty almond notes. So and it doesn't want to be smoked too hot. So if you go hot on that, you're gonna find yourself in serious trouble when it comes to the taste. So price is €23.60. That's within the range that we have this year. All right. Yeah, that's mainly about those Kohlhase editions. There's one tobacco left, and yeah, at first I wanted to do a separate video about this tobacco, but there's so many, I don't know, other stuff we have to talk about. Well, let's say the new Three Nuns tobaccos, the new Dunhill copies by Kohlhase and so on. And so there's so much stuff going on that I decided to throw that in. So in the end, it's an edition tobacco, so really fits here. And since I haven't given you a tobacco that is really a really good tobacco, really proper tobacco, well, yeah, so several of those are proper tobaccos. It's nothing outstanding, so that is one point why I said it's sad not to have repeaters, and so I'm not sure if it would be outstanding, but some years it was. So anyway, so I show you the last tobacco I want to talk about, and this is the Lawson's Craftsman's edition. So that will be number I don't know where's the number 154. So that's always about the years. So this year's Lawson Craftsman edition. Show you the tin, another beautiful tin. You see that nice harbor scene. So my first idea was to show you the tobacco at a different ship, but I don't want to show you always ships, so I just show the ships. So anyway, so I'm gonna show you the other ship in a different video perhaps. So what about this tobacco? I think I don't want to read what is here. What is it? They say they are master blenders, and that's high premium pipe tobacco. Oh, well. Okay, they say that's Virginia from Brazil, Africa, and yeah, some of them are flakes and then rubbed again. And there's a little bit of black Cavendish to just make it more round. So I'm not always sure. So the black Cavendish also looks good in the tobaccos. So that may be one more reason for that. All right. So the flavor, they say, they put a flavor on it. So we're not talking just about casing. We're talking about flavor. So top flavor. So this is an aromatic tobacco. A friend of mine said it's not an aromatic, but I said, yeah, well, it is. So in the company, they say by themselves. So they say it's flavor of ripe berries, whatever, and exotic fruit. So we all know that doesn't mean anything specific. So, but anyway, yeah, the tobacco. I think this tobacco, I don't know, tobacco is not about how it looks. So yeah, there are some flake parts. I'll show you that. Perhaps you detect the flake parts. So yeah, alright, it's a brown a brown tobacco, and I think that's alright. Some flake parts in it, nothing so fancy, nothing so special. So the difference now is, if you take a first whiff, if you try to smell what's about this tobacco, you're gonna find out, well, I can detect the fruits and the berries perhaps, and some flavor. But, strange thing, I can also detect the tobacco. So this is really something different. So we're not talking about a flavor that kills the tobacco. So this is different here. And yeah, when we talk about this tobacco, we have to talk about something different, because this tobacco is outstanding when it comes to the price. And we all know that these Craftsmen's editions, they really outstanding when it comes to the price. I think they already lowered the price, because I think they started with something very near to 30 euros. I can be wrong, but I think that's what I remember. Well, is that right, Ronny? They started the first tobacco near 30 euros or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, alright, and now they just lowered a bit, so, but not too much, so it's 27 euros 90 cents. So we talking high price tobacco. And when it comes to high price tobacco, we don't expect good tobacco, we don't expect very good tobacco. What we should expect is excellent tobacco, perhaps even outstanding quality, and yeah, to be lucky or to be, I don't know, really glad, we should expect unique tobacco. So let's see, is it like that? So it doesn't come to moisty. That's really different to the other tobaccos. It doesn't come to moisty. I don't want to say it's rather dry, but I just think it's really good condition. It smokes very good, packs easily. There is nothing complicated about that. So now the interesting point. This tobacco is slightly complex. So, and this is something you don't have very often when it comes to an aromatic tobacco. It's really slightly complex. Why is that? So under the flavor, you can detect the tobacco notes. Yeah, well, this is not the kind of complexity we used to, I don't know, Kentucky Oriental mixtures changing their flavor during the bowl and so on, with slightly plum and earthy notes. It's not about that, so it's not that complex, but interesting. So to smoke an aromatic and just feel how the tobacco sets in from time to time, depending on the temperature you give to the tobacco. This is an interesting point. So we're not talking about tobacco killed by the aroma. That's not a heavy aromatic. I'm not sure that I can talk about a slightly aromatic. That would be, I think that wouldn't really fit, because it's more than slightly. I know there are always differences between all the pipe smokers. If you're really orthodox, nearly everything is aromatic, even if the tobacco is, I don't know, stored in a rum barrel or something. So we're not talking this. This is really top flavor. So they add a flavor, but they didn't overdo. So I think it's thoughtfully done. So, is it good tobacco? Yes. Is it very good tobacco? I think so. Is it an excellent tobacco, an outstanding tobacco, perhaps even something unique? I don't really think so. It's close to that maybe, so because it's complex and you have those different notes, really interesting tobacco. So, in the end, the decision is really about, do you really want to spend the money, or let's say perhaps you don't care too much about the price, and then you get really good tobacco that is reliable, you can go with that. Or if you're looking for a present, and the present should have a certain price because there are different people involved throwing money in or something, you can go with that. So the tobacco won't embarrass you or something like that if you give it as a gift or a present. So I think that's a good news, and it's nice tin art, looks good. So you can really go with that. So, but it is a high price tobacco. It is 27 euros 90 cents. So yeah, well, that's a decision you have to make on your own. So the quality is absolutely okay. No tongue bite, no nothing. And the taste is really, yeah, it's really a decent aromatic. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. So it was a lot of stuff. Sorry, I tried to push. But that's just the first overview. I think other guys coming up with I don't know, more precise videos on every of those tobaccos. So last word. So if you're interested in one of those tobaccos, so they might not be available at every place in the world. So and if you're really interested in that, again, I told that in different videos already, but it's not because Ronny is paying me for that, something like that. No, it's just because some of you guys are always asking, yeah, I can't get it. So yeah, well, if you really can't get it at your shop or can't get it online, so just give Ronny an email. He does shipping, international shipping, so there's no problem. That shipping is not much. If you're really interested in one of those tobaccos, you can't get it. Yeah, just give him an email. So I put a link down the bucket, so or just the email address, and you can give an email in English, and he gonna come back to you and tell you what he needs or something like that, what kind of information to do the exchange. So all right, I think that's it. So I hope we see each other soon, because yeah, as I said, there's so much stuff going on right now in the world of tobacco. So yeah, hope all of you are well. Hope you find something good for the season and for this kind of weather now, and for I don't know, last third of the year. So I hope you all are well, and take care, guys, and perhaps see you again. So conclusion. So my conclusion would be, it's not too shabby at all. So it's not too shabby at all. Yeah. So. To chemical at all.